Hey fellow explorers, today I'm in Sydney, Australia, and I'm going to be taking you on a walk from the Sydney Opera House to the Sydney Harbour Bridge through Sydney's Circular Quay neighborhood back here, really the heart of touristy Sydney. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what I can see, and I'm going to show you the things you might want to see, do, and eat in this neighborhood. This is, you can spend a couple hours here, you can spend a half day, you can spend a whole day with all of the things there are to do. So while this video is not only going to be less than an hour long, I will tell you a whole day's worth of stuff you might want to connect to it. And so to start, if you like plants and greenery, the Royal Botanic Garden right over here. So you can easily spend an hour or two in the Royal Botanic Garden, really beautiful, along the water, free admission. Check that out. Now, the Opera House, certainly you can come here and see a show, but you can also just come around, walk around it. You can get up on the steps, you can get around the back of the Opera House, really an iconic place to get your selfie with the Harbour Bridge right there. All right, and that's the Park Hyatt, the fancy Sydney Park Hyatt. Now, if we go this way, we're gonna see the ferry terminals of Circular Quay in the distance back over here. But before we get over that way and kind of wander around like this, and then by the way, you see all of Sydney's Central Business District, the tall buildings, I wanna bring you down here. And I wanna bring you down here because actually one of the coolest things to do at the Opera House is to get a drink at the Opera Bar. Down here, there's a restaurant and a bar, but the Opera Bar right here, you can see they've got food, they've got drinks. This is their food menu. It's actually pretty reasonably priced for some place with such an iconic view. There's also the House Canteen restaurant over here. So there's two. This one has a lot of Asian foods back over here. Get your takoyaki, dumplings. But the Opera Bar is the one that has, I'll say, more seats and the view, so you can get your drink, you can get your food, and then you can sit out here. Really one of those like bucket list items that when you come to Sydney, Australia, you need to have a drink here and enjoy life. Because you will see it's too early. They're not open yet as I'm doing this video. I'm doing this pretty early in the morning, but when they're open, they'll be busy. Right now, they're closed. They've got QR codes at the table. You can pay and order there. You can order your drinks at the bar. You can order your drinks inside. But what you need to do when you order your food, you need to tell them your table number so they know where to bring your food. And there's even some table numbers of these little benches here. These little benches are tables too. All right, this green thing that we see going by in front of the cruise ship. The cruise ship is one of a couple ferry terminals in Sydney. Ferry terminals, cruise ship terminals. But this Circular Quay neighborhood is the main ferry terminal station interchange for the amazing ferry transport in Sydney. Now, along the harbor, you can take ferries to like almost anywhere, and definitely one of my favorite places to take a ferry to is Manly Beach. Manly Beach is a really cool beach that you can take a ferry direct from here, 30 minutes, and then it's just a 5-minute walk from the ferry station to the sand of the beach. The other thing I want to point out from here, underneath the bridge back here, is Luna Park. That is like Sydney's version of like Coney Island or something like that. I think it was actually built by like some companies from New York that built the roller coaster there. And it's like an old-timey carnival type amusement park. I wouldn't really call it Sydney's version of Disneyland because it's really quite small. But if you've got kiddos or you like amusement parks, definitely check that out. You can get a ferry from this Circular Quay wharf right across to Luna Park. All right, now if you wonder, hey Chris, where should I stay if I'm coming here? Well, you can see this white building just back in the distance right here, the Marriott Sydney Harbour Circular Quay, I think is the full name that they call it. That's actually where I'm staying. I've stayed there a couple times. I quite like it there. This building is the Pullman Hotel in front of us. You could stay there too. Here's a map of what we're doing. Starting at the Opera House. If you want to add more, this is all the botanic gardens. You can walk around here. We're gonna walk down this way. We're gonna walk through, check out some of the restaurants and food courts that I like over here. Then we're gonna come by the Museum of Contemporary Art. We're gonna check out the rocks, and then we're gonna end down here under the bridge. Okay, it's nice and shady over here, which is nice because it is warm. You can see still haven't started lunch over here, but they're setting up all of the tables. Nice white tablecloths. If you're looking for gift shops to get all of your just random souvenirs to bring back home, this is gonna be the place. Kangaroo, convenience and souvenirs. Yes, you can bring home a very large kangaroo or a koala, whatever you think your friends and family might enjoy from Sydney. The temperature today, the high temperature today, filming this in the summer in Sydney right after Australia Day, and it's supposed to be up in the 40 degrees Celsius, so really quite warm. We're talking like 90s if you're doing the Fahrenheit conversion, and it's already cooking here at this early morning hour. Okay, and we'll see some of the things that you see of like the construction stuff. That's them cleaning up the stuff from Australia Day. Australia is probably like Australia Day, one of the big holidays. It celebrates when Captain Cook landed his ship and claimed Australia for Britain for the crown at that point in time, beginning this legacy that we know of Australia today. And so in the harbor here, they do fireworks and they do concerts and things like that. So if you do happen to find yourself here towards the end of January, definitely check out all the Australia Day festivities. Okay, this ferry that we see backing in here, this is the Manly Fast Ferry, one of the ferries that'll take you to Manly Beach. There's two. There's a private company that operates a Manly Fast Ferry, and then there's a public one that's another ferry. I don't know. I think the Manly Fast Ferry boats are just a little bit newer, but they both work. If you want to go faster around, you can take this jet boating boat. It's like a speedboat that takes you around. There's also whale watching cruises that come out from here on Sydney Princess Cruises. Or you just might want to take a load off and have a seat and enjoy the view. Over here, burgers. Wahlburgers from Mark Wahlberg from the USA. If you want your good old American burger right here. There's plenty of great Australian burgers. I've not eaten at that Wahlburger to know whether it's good or not, but it's one of the restaurants that's out here. On the left, we got another restaurant that's setting up for lunch. And if you're looking for Japanese ramen, here in the back in the corner is an outpost of Ippudo, a really good Japanese ramen chain from Japan. So you can check that out if it's hot. Maybe not when it's hot. Do that on a cold day when you're here in winter. Baskin Robbins for ice cream. Easy Mart is like a Australian convenience store chain, so you can get all of your chips, sunscreens. If you're out here and you're like, oh man, I'm burning up, get your sunscreen. Or if it's a rainy day, get your umbrella or get your hat or your Australian flag, because, you know, hey, you're probably wanting an Australian flag, particularly here on Australia Day to celebrate. A lot of ice cream around Circular Quay. There's the Opera Gelato back over there. Some cool benches to sit at over here. These kind of like light up, illuminated way at night. Oh, you see the train going up there? There's a Circular Quay train station over here, so you can take trains actually all the way from the airport. They'll bring you here. Convenient if you're not renting a car. You can also pick up the light rail over here as well, which makes this really an optimal place to stay from a tourism perspective, because there's great public transportation links to pretty much get anywhere you want. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, from a public transit perspective, this is probably the place you want to be. There's also a central train station, so maybe over there, but I don't think the hotels are as good over by the central train station, and I don't think the just the general, like, all the attractions aren't as close out on foot you can get from here. All right, so these are the different wharves. There's a few of them that we'll pass by. In addition to the ferries, you can also get tickets for some sightseeing cruises here. The way you ride these ferries, most of them, you generally don't buy a ticket. You generally just walk in, and if you have an Opal card, which is their tap on and tap off card, you would tap your Opal card in there on the gates to go in. Or if you just have a Visa, MasterCard, Amex that taps, then you can use that to get in. A lot of restaurants on these little wharves as well, so if you're looking for some quick eats, you can do that. If you want a ham and cheese sandwich, they're gonna call it a ham and cheese toasty. There you go. That means it is toasted. Okay. Oh, and they've got signs to tell you which wharf you want to go to get your ferry to wherever you're trying to go to. We got another train coming in from the other direction. We have some Aboriginals that are setting up here to play some of their native music. There's he's been out here for the last couple days. Gelato store over there. You can see some of these ferries get pretty busy. This is the public ferry to Manly, so this one probably has the longest lines in the summer, and you can see the people boarding the ferry over there. And again, that's one where you don't need to buy a ticket, you just wait in line, and then when the ferry gets here, you go ahead and tap in. They let you know that the Manly ferry gate closes 2 minutes before scheduled departure time. Is this going to flicker, or is this going to fix itself? That's the ferry network, but it doesn't look good on that flickering screen. There are public toilets that are here in the train station. So if you need to use the potty, that's where you can go. This restaurant is open 24 hours. Anytime is pancake time, so get your 24-hour pancakes. There's also a place, if you've got luggage and you want to store it, you can store your bags here. I haven't really seen any luggage lockers around here, so I think that's your luggage storage option. Subway sandwich over this way. You can also take the ferry from here to the Taronga Zoo, Jakul Zoo on the other side of the harbor. You take a direct ferry over there. You can see a lot of Australian animals over there. And what's neat about that zoo is it's like on a hill coming down, and you just get great views of the harbor the whole time. Okay, this is the entrance to get to the train station up on the top. They got great signs to tell you when the next trains are to Central, next trains to the airport, and we got an outpost of Hungry Jack's here. Hungry Jack's is Burger King in Australia. So if you've been craving Burger King, you will not find it by the name Burger King. You will find it Hungry Jack's. This is the customs house that has the Sydney Visitor Center in it. So if you're looking for some tourist information, maps, you can pick them up over there. By the way, talking about Manly Beach, if you're like, Chris, I don't know, do I want to visit Manly Beach or not? I've got a whole walking tour of Manly Beach you can check out after you're finished with this one. I've also got a walking tour of Bondi Beach, which is their most famous beach. This is the light rail. This will take you down the center of Sydney's Central Business District. This is a funny looking bird. One of these like Australian local birds. These things really just hang out around here and like harass the people that you're eating. If you're eating outside, expect to have a lot of these out wanting to munch on your things. Okay, we're gonna continue that way along the harbor, but first I wanna show you my favorite food court here for getting some cheap and quick eats. And no, it is not McDonald's, though there is a McDonald's here in a pinch if you feel so inclined. It's just around the corner, food court. What I do want to point out, you'll find a lot of places around here that are called hotel that like really don't have any rooms anymore. Back in the day, if you wanted to serve alcohol in Australia, you had to be a hotel. Like a hotel that provided lodging could also serve alcohol, and so there's a legacy of these bars that are just called hotels. So the Paragon Hotel right here, is in fact a bar. So there you go. We are also on this walk going to go to Australia's oldest bar. So if you were like, or pub. So if you're like, Chris, you know, what's the original pub? Well, we're gonna find it. At least that's what they claim. Okay, this food court. I like this food court because it's air conditioned. It's very nice. But this is a great place to come in, get lunch or an early dinner. I should point out they close at 5 p.m. So that's why I say early dinner. After 5, nothing's open. We've got a Vietnamese pho restaurant. We've got a Korean restaurant. We have a Malaysian steam table restaurant. It's funny, this used to be a Din Tai Fung food court stall that closed. But they have laksa right here, which is a Malaysian style spicy soup with kind of chili sauce and curry. We have a Lebanese spot. We've got acai bowls, which I found to be very popular on this visit to Australia. Juices over here at Cali Press, and toasted sourdough sandwiches and chimichurri bowls. There's a coffee shop here in the middle. Schnitz burgers, breakfast burgers, cold coffee, handmade schnitzel sandwiches. Mexican food. I'm gonna pass on the Mexican food while I'm here. I'm from California. This is your first time watching this, so grew up in San Diego, right by the Mexican border. Pretty sure the tacos and burritos are gonna be better where I'm from. Bread and fill for sandwiches. Just take us out the light rail. There's a place called Oporto, which is Portuguese-style chicken. Barbershop if you need to get your hair cut. Gong Cha for boba tea. Not open yet. I find most of the boba tea shops open at like noon or 1. There's a, what is this, ice cream spot? Not open yet. Upstairs, there's also more sit-down restaurants on the 2nd and 3rd floors. So if you're eating late, check those out. The one that I can recommend is Hawker Star Malaysian Kitchen. Check up there and get the char kway teow. Betty's Burgers has been busy every day I've been here. They've also got some cool seats outside. You can drink your burgers. There's a bar over here called the Ship Inn. And if you were going to the Marriott, it's just to the left over that way. But we're gonna go ahead and walk back to the harbor. You can see here to the right, this is where that light rail was just a moment ago. If you're riding the light rail, they don't have gates. You tap in at this thing right here. You tap in at the pylon, and you tap on and you tap off. So you tap on while you're waiting for it, and then when you get to your destination, then you tap off at the pylon at that station. Okay, walking under the train tracks, we can see the very big Carnival Splendor right here. That is one big cruise ship. We've got another ice cream stall over here, Copenhagen ice cream. People probably coming from the airport with their suitcases, going to check in their hotel. This is luck, because it's really convenient to stay around here and take the airport train and just walk a couple blocks to where you're going. We're gonna check out this map so you can see where we are and where we're going. We have started at the Opera House. We walked this way. We checked out the food court over here. We're now here. We're gonna walk on George Street. We're gonna walk up through the rocks, and then we're gonna drop down this way by the Park Hyatt over to the end of where you see the bridge. Okay, so this promenade, if you just kept walking this way, you'll end up underneath the bridge. But I think it's more scenic if we take a little bit of detour over to the left, particularly because we want to go check out Australia's oldest pub. You can see the Opera House from this side. And, okay, this is the Museum of Contemporary Art. It's just over here. We've got a little walking tour that was walking out there. So this area, as we kind of come back in from these buildings, is known as the Rocks. This is often considered the original settlement in Sydney. So some of the oldest buildings are back here. Of course, the oldest pub is back here too, which says it's been here since 1880 something. So quite a long time. In the Rocks, they also do a farmer and artists market on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday. So if you're looking for the most lively time to get here, Saturday and Sunday, this looks like a biking tour, Sydney Harbour bike tour. That's probably kind of a cool way to get around. All right, correction, not 1880, 1828, the Fortune of War. This is what claims to be Australia's oldest pub. It's a long time, 1828. And what's it right next to? It's right next to a Starbucks. There we go. That's funny. Okay. So there are a lot of touristy shops in this area since it's so close to the cruise ship terminal. Jewelers, luggage. We're going to go over on this side. There's a lot of these little laneways and alleys through here, and you can see there's a lot of walking tours. We'll just pop our head in here and you can see this cool little laneway back in here. Yeah, laneway, that's what they call it. It's not an alley, it's a laneway. Discover a range of unexpected treasures. And then you can see the Fortune of War, Sydney's oldest pub. And the Starbucks is in a building that was built in 1885. Shall we check our head in here, see what the Starbucks looks like? Oh, I see. We could probably walk through and go out to the Nurses Walk and come around. So we'll go ahead and do that. If you want to get some particular Australian things, you can get the beef sausage roll. You don't find that at most Starbucks. Okay, I don't know. Is there a door here? Yeah, there's a door over here. That'll let us out. Okay. Pull, the door says. Okay, there we go. So this is back through that Nurses Walk. Then we came that way. And by the way, when I said things were hotels, you can see the bar, Fortune of War Hotel. They might even still have some rooms up there. There's another little local coffee shop back here. So if you want the local coffee, or some avocado toast, or some matcha, or some pancakes, head back here. Okay, so we're right here on this thing called Nurses Walk, the Museum of Contemporary Art here. And so we're gonna walk kind of this way through the rocks and walk our way down like that. Okay, but now this is like if Circular Quay, right in front of that train station, was like touristy blob of people. You know, you can see, you just get like one block off that, and it gets like really quite peaceful back here. So if you like exploring little alleys that aren't sketchy, it's very nice here. It doesn't feel sketchy at all because there's a lot of businesses, there's Aboriginal arts and crafts. It's cool just to wander through these. Though, I guess it could be a little bit easy to get turned around, but not that much because it's on a hill. And so if you want to get back to the harbor, just go down the hill. And if you want to go up towards the road that takes you towards the bridge, then you can do that. Toilets up that way if you need some. Okay, we'll go through here. Heritage walkways, uneven surfaces, it says. This is the well courtyard. It's a little bit of it's like a restaurant eating area back in there. Oh, that's funny. There's a coffee shop back here. I guess you order on the other side and then you pick your coffee up at this little window. This is a really typical Australia coffee shop thing. Like you order in one place and then you go outside and pick up your coffee in a window. All right, so if we look down this way, you can see this looks down at the harbor. There's the cruise ship. And we'll go up this way. They've got this blocked off today. This is the Rocks Center. There's a lot of touristy shops in here too. The Rocks Square, which this is where they have the street market, artists market, down this street. You can see this is a nice place to walk down. We are just a little bit up the hill now, right here. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and continue up the hill this way. There's another Easy Mart convenience store. You don't see a lot of like 7-Elevens or those sorts of things, but you see Easy Mart all over here. Let's not get hit by a step as it goes by. Okay. So if you are parking here, the way they do a lot of the street parking, they're not like single bay spots. They are license plate spots. So you go up to the thing and you put in your license plate, pay with a credit card. None of these machines take cash anymore. And so that's how you pay for your parking on the street. If you are going up to the bridge, then you'll need to go up some steps. So this is how you would go up to the bridge itself. There are these things called the Argyle stairs right here. It is in this little wall right here. Again, we came back down that way from the harbor. You find this little thing and you can go up here. And this is how you would get to actually walk on the Harbour Bridge itself and do the Harbour Bridge walk. It's kind of confusing because if you walk all the way to the end, you'll find yourself underneath the bridge and then you can't get up to the level of the actual bridge. So we're gonna walk along this way. There's pretty good signs that tell you which way to go, but it says, hey, if you want to do the bridge climb, It's that way. If you want to get to the Rock Square, you can go back down that way. I want to show you this way first. We'll come back to this intersection. So, but just to show you, if you wanted to continue this on to the bridge climb, visit the bridge pylon, observatory area, just walk all the way across the bridge. You can do that here. You come here, and then you go across the street, either to the bridge stairs or to this elevator, and then you'll be on the bridge and you can walk down that way. And if you're tired, before you go on, you can stop at the Glenmore Hotel, yes, pub, to get a drink. Okay, we're gonna go back down the stairs and walk along that way. Oh, it's cool. From here you can see the big slide up on top of that Carnival cruise ship. It's neat. All right, as promised, I'm just down that staircase. I'm also getting quite warm. See what I do for you all here? Sydney can be quite hot and humid in the summer. So if you're doing this walk in the summer, you know, this is a good early morning walk or a good sunset type walk. Although, problem is in Australia, many shops close early. The good news is that in this touristy area, things tend to be open much longer than they are in the rest of Sydney or the rest of Australia. Okay, so this way we can go, there's a staircase that should be over here to take us down to the Rock Square to get back to the Park Hyatt and where we're going. Okay. But lots of cool brick buildings over here. You can just feel the history walking around this neighborhood, especially as you go down these stairs that you'll want to hold on to. There's a fireplace over here. I assume this used to be a house built into the hillside. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool house. Okay, this has access to Playfair Street. Looks like they're doing a bunch of renovations over here. You can see some work going on back this way. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. This looks like it was probably another room in that house back in the day. Still got the walls right here. Still got some steps that go up into those rooms. It's funny, they've put an old grandfather clock and some old cabinets here. Okay, coming down. Some benches here you can sit at to take a load off when it's shady. And the rocks, they call it that because it's you can see it's just it's rocks. You know, they've built all these houses and things to the rocks. You can't see it because there's a lot of houses now, but yeah, some big rock. All right, cool little walkway through the building here. It's nice and cool in here because the brick, I feel retains the coolness from overnight. Okay, this is the Rocks Center Square. There's a little ice cream shop that's here. Some more galleries, jewelry. Oh, this is kind of cool. There's there's a little fountain right here that just sort of bubbles up amongst the sidewalk and runs down the step. There you go, just to give yourself some rushing water. Right now, oh, this is a cool old school letterbox. You can drop your letters in for the post office. Is it still used? They still use this. You can they pick up by 4 p.m. But that water running down, I would enjoy a dunk of my head. Enjoy a dunk of my head in that water right now. Okay, little tea shop over here, Tea Cozy, where you can sit outside and have a spot of afternoon tea. Oh, this is funny. There is a communal knitting station if you would like to knit while you are waiting for your tea. Hello. You can do that. They've got iced tea, black tea, herbal teas. You can do scones, or do they call them scones, sandwiches. They've even got a kids' tea, which is nice. Our 5-year-old daughter, the Curious Princess, she really likes the tradition of afternoon tea, particularly the grand afternoon tea, where she can get the whole 3-tier set. Although she doesn't like tea. well, she does like chocolate milk. So he put some chocolate milk in a teapot, and she is absolutely all over it. All right, we're gonna go down this way. I'm gonna turn the camera left just so you can see the Harbour Bridge is over there, although that's not where we're going. We're gonna go down the hill this way. And like cool shots from some of these alleys here, because you can get the like old school brick buildings with the new school towers of the central business district. But I love just how like they're really renovating everything here and making it fresh. Like you've got new elements, but you've got old elements too. So definitely one of my favorite neighborhoods in Sydney to just explore. The central business district itself, like in the center, it's got some, I guess, cool old things, but like it doesn't quite have the same charm, I should say, that this neighborhood does. Okay. Oh, by the way, when I told you about parking things, some of them you put in your parking meter, some of them print out a ticket and you put it in your car. Looks like some of these print out a ticket. Here it's $8 an hour to park, and you can park, at least at this spot, somewhere between 2-4 hours, depending upon when you're here. Okay, this is the cruise ship terminal from a little bit high up on the hill. And you can now see we're on the back side of the Carnival Splendor. If you're looking for something to eat around here, a decent spot to get a burger and a beer is the Squire's Landing. I ate there last night for dinner. And when the cruise ship's not here, then from inside there, you can get a great view of the Sydney Opera House from inside that restaurant. Well, the cruise ship's here though. Definitely blocks the view. There's also some kind of fancy restaurants out here. I also ate at this restaurant called Luna Lu, which is a Asian fusion thing over here, which was, I will call the food good, but really overly priced expensive, but it's that because of this view of the harbor. If you're looking for Asian food in Sydney and you don't want to spend a fortune and you don't need like a cool nighttime scene, like eat here at nighttime. In the daytime, too hot. Like you want to eat there. In the summer, you want to eat there at night. Too hot to sit there in the day. But there's a Chinatown district in the neighborhood called Haymarket, and so that's where you're going to get some of the best Asian eats. Probably my favorite Asian restaurant in Sydney is called Mamak. It is Malaysian food in the Haymarket neighborhood. They have really good Malaysian noodles, mee goreng. They have really good roti canai, which is a Malaysian style of flatbread. So check that out. That is one place whenever I come to Sydney or Melbourne, because they have locations in both cities, it's like on my must-eat list. Okay, we are now getting closer to the Harbour Bridge. This is the Park Hyatt that we saw from the other side. If you're looking for the quintessential Sydney hotel to stay at, it is the Park Hyatt right here, built over the water on this pier. You can have breakfast at the restaurant over here with this fantastic view of the Opera House in the distance. You will note that we're kind of far from everything. Like, it's a cool, iconic hotel and great views, but you're not very close to stuff. So actually, the Marriott is actually much closer to stuff. There's another Marriott Bonvoy affiliate hotel that I've heard good things about around the corner this way called Pier 1 Autograph Collection. I've not yet stayed there, but I'm passing on the good words that I've heard. Okay, we're gonna look right so we can look out at that central business district. Here, let's come over on this side as we do that so we can see over this railing. There's a ship that does some harbor tours on it. You can go out on that sailboat. Sydney is definitely a very nautical city. Oh, by the way, it's so hot. You can see these construction guys like flailed out here. They're like, death. I just need to like lie down in the shade. Yeah, I feel you guys. I need to. It's gonna be lunchtime soon. I need to go retreat into that air-conditioned food court that I showed you earlier. We got a little boat coming around, nice place to sit right here along the water. You can see this greenery up here. That's the Botanic Garden next to the Opera House. And so if you're looking to get a selfie with the Opera House behind, right here, this is the spot. You stand right here in front of the Park Hyatt. There's no railing behind you. You have the person who's taking the picture put a 3x zoom on so they get that Opera House to come close, and there you go. Chris's best selfie spot of the Opera House. So you need to time it so that you don't have the sun in the background. Right now would not be a good time. Sun's in the wrong direction. Okay, nice little grassy area over here, and cooler down here because closer to the harbor, so it gets the breeze off the water. You can see we've got a lot of people taking selfies out here. Looks like a professional photographer with them because they're definitely all dressed up for this event. And the reason why I said if you come here, you got to go to that staircase if you want to go up on that Harbour Bridge, is because you can see we are really like way far underneath that bridge. That bridge is really quite tall, and even if you were to like go up, you know, this little like grassy hill over here, there's nothing that gets you up there except those stairs that I showed you earlier. All right, so if you want to go on further, you can keep going around this way. It'll take you onto the Barangaroo. There's kind of like, there's some more piers this way. There's a nature reserve. You can connect it to Darling Harbour, go by the convention center. You can then end at the Sydney Maritime Museum, and then you can take a ferry to come back. If you were to continue that walk this way, like you were power walking it, probably take you 30-45 minutes to walk along the shore to get to the Maritime Museum. And the ferry ride takes about 30 minutes to get back. And here we see a cool view of Luna Park under the bridge. Well, all right, fellow explorers, I'm about to melt. If you want to see more of Sydney, if you want to see Manly Beach, check it out here, Bondi Beach right here, or if you want to check out my whole Sydney travel tips video with everything else you need to know to visit the city and everything else to do, you can watch it right here. As usual, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you in the next video.